Okay, so the question number 1 said the impulse conductive cells of the nervous system are called. So again, the impulse also produced in heart, but impulse also can produce in the brain. Or you want me to make it bigger, right? Okay, let's see if I can. Yep, a little bit more. Is okay? Okay, so they said the impulse conductive cell of the nervous system are called neuroglia, neuron, microglia, or endymal cell. Okay, so they said the impulse conductive cell of the nervous system is always neuron. I mean, uh, yes. So neuron. So not a neuroglia. So there are two different things. So the unit cell is neuron. Okay, the unit of neuron. But if in case of kidney, it is a nephron, right? If kidney, you got it. Wonderful. So what are their explanations say? The neuroglia are the nervous system cell that protect the neuron. One is nervous system cell, other is the conducting system. So the neuroglia are the type of neuroglia. One of the microglia is the type of neuroglia that perform phagocytosis and engulf the microorganism and also other debris or foreign body. Ependymal cell that the spinal cord and cavities of the brain and secrete the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. So here, the correct answer is neuron. If we go back last lecture where we saw the neuron is make one cell, then axon and terminal or tail. And when one neuron is finished, another neuron start. And all body is working like this, right? So I said a complete impulse conducting cell in the nervous system called neuron. But what is the other A, B, and D? We also get some idea from this. So explanation can help you to get some more ideas. So what is neuroglia? Here say neuroglia are the nervous system cell that protect the neuron. So if any other question, we can see what is neuroglia. We can see this protect the system of the cell. So microglia is the type of neuroglia, but they have a capability. So again, I want to tell you something. So I said, like a foreign country suddenly attack in this country. So who go for the fight? US Army, right? So US Army is a protective country. They're ready to fight others. So same thing happened when with our body, any bacteria, virus, or any pathogen attack me, my body fight. But I have so many cells in my body. I have a red blood cell, I have a white blood cell, I have a platelet, right? And there's several other cells as well. So out of these two, who come first? White blood cell. Why? Because they are capable to fight. 1 point. Second point is they are mobile, means they can walk. Okay, and also they have a process is called, or procedure, it is called phagocytosis. Okay, they engulf it. So because of this property, they're ready to fight, right? So again, I say when this white blood cell in our brain, this is called microglia. So again, white blood cell, according to our body location, they can change the name. Okay, when they present the liver, it's called Kupffer cell, but it is another form of white blood cell. Anyway, you know well, wonderful. So the second question they said, what is the blood-brain barrier? Okay, so there are Y, A, B, C, and D, 4 options, right? Can you read it for me? What they said? Number just A, B, C, and D. What is the yes? What is say? uh, Penetrate brain tissue. So blood-brain barrier. In our last lecture, we talk about this. So they allowed to permit some molecules, but not all, right? Very small molecules are allowed to get in, but not all. Okay, they are positive and negative charge they contain. Okay, so what are the B said? Okay, so the membrane surrounding the brain that keep the blood in the brain separate from the blood rest to the body. It does not know, it does not make sense, right? It does not make any sense because the blood is always follow the artery and venar system, nothing like this. Okay, and what number C said? Mm-hmm. Yes, so they are the semi or semi-permeable membrane that permit the small molecules like oxygen because brain need food. And what is the brain food? Oxygen and some molecules or nutrient, okay, like glucose. So, and also the carbon dioxide to diffuse across the brain. So they kick out or expel out from the brain the carbon dioxide, but oxygen get in, right? What number D said? Okay, but it is not true because they are allow the CSF go through from brain to the spinal cord, right? So there are some basic, pathways CSF can flow, move, but not a blood-brain barrier. There's no connection with CSF and semi-permeable membrane because CSF always move in their particular pathway we call ventricle. One point. Second point is nervous system is little bit hard. If you last time when we discussed, if you do not study at home, you will not feel interest when you interact with me. But let's continue. So at least we learn that from here what is blood-brain barrier is a semi-permeable membrane that permit the small molecules like oxygen get in and carbon dioxide to diffuse across the brain. That's it. And next question here is number 3. They said which, okay, so can you read it for me? Okay, which neuron detect the sensation such as touch or heat and they relay the information about the stimuli to the central nervous system, right? Efferent or afferent, then interneuron, afferent neuron, and Schwann cell. Which is your answer? I know you already know it. So again, neuron detect sensations such as touch or heat and then relay the information about the stimuli to the central nervous system. Something get in. I said there are two types of neuron. One is afferent, other is the afferent. So one get in, another is get out, right? Always remember the letter started by E for echo. It is always expel out from brain to peripheral nervous system. But the letter started by A for apple, they get in, right? In. So try to remember one. A for apple, A for get in. Yes. So you have any question? Somebody, you have any question? Yeah, yeah. E for out. A for in. They can carry the impulse inside. Okay. So then they said number 4, that can you read it for me? The the nerve cell in which phase cannot respond to a new stimuli. Resting potential, action potential, repolarization, and refractory period. So any idea? Number C means repolarization. They said, right? The nerve cell which phase cannot respond to the new stimuli. So may I ask you why you think the repolarization phase? You already saw the answer? That's good. Resting action potential. Say, okay. Let me tell you something. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so the resting potential is the phase in which the neuron are resting, and but the potential to and also has potential to react. Action potential is when the neuron become active and also conduct the impulse along the axon, and repolarization in which the nerve cell restore in electrical balance and in preparing for a new stimuli. And while the neuron would not necessarily react to an impulse during the action potential and also repolarization, the most correct answer is the refractory period, because although the membrane is polarized and also the cell would not react to the new impulses until sodium and potassium have been restored to their rightful side of the membrane. This is actually membrane where the receptor is located. So the next question we go here. The which stimuli regarding the spinal nerve is true? Can you read it? What they said, number A? Yeah, question and answer. Which is true? Okay. Eh, Capable to transmitting impulse in two direction. So here, one, and what number B said, the spinal nerve primarily motor nerve and responsible for transmitting impulse to the skeletal muscle. So because, okay, number B is not correct because the two wrong information is there, because spinal nerve primarily motor. No, spinal nerve the common pathway that can transmit motor and sensory both, right? Some sensation came from peripheral to the nervous system, sensory. In the same time, what is my action go and transmit from central to periphery by motor response. So spinal cord can contain both. So in that point of view, it is not true. It is not a, it is both. Also, they said impulse to the skeletal. No, it can transmit other organ as well, right? Okay, so number B is not a correct answer. And what number C said? Sensory. Mm-hmm. Response. Spinal cord. So, yeah, it is not correct to. Okay, so it is not correct because it is not a sensory either. It is both. And number D said spinal nerve are mainly component of autonomic nervous system and responsible for controlling autonomic. No, it is both. Again, not only autonomic, it controls both again. So according to this question, what examiner asks, that it is most appropriate is the spinal nerve or the mixed nerves and conduct both sensory and motor fibers. All right, and also making that capable of transmitting impulse in both direction. What I said, from center to periphery and from periphery to central system, right? Of what is our action basically. And now we go for here, this one. Can you read it? Which key nerve is a part of axial plexus, right? Okay, so phrenic nerve, axillary nerve, sciatic nerves, right? Oh yeah, you're right. She said sciatic nerve and also the femoral nerve. So, if we go back in our last lecture, we talked the spinal cord is a cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and sacral and coccygeus, right? So they said the sacral part, right? Definitely not a phrenic. Phrenic is the thoracic, axillary is the thoracic, or phrenic is a cervical, phrenic, axillary, sciatic, best example for sacral nerve. So what is their explanation said? The phrenic nerve is the part of the cervical, I mean C1 to C7, right? And also innervated means distributed to the diaphragm. And diaphragm is the principal muscle for respiration. The axillary nerves, the part of the brachial plexus and lead into the arm. And also, oh my God. Mhm.